I mean, okay, I have a little bit of space in my phone real fast. I'm watching Try Guys talk about and rate princesses, and then I remembered Mulan, and I was really obsessed with it. And we're like, oh yeah, because you're trans, so you liked all the movies where the girl dressed up and acted like a guy, and passed as a guy and everything, and they were cross-dressing. Um, yeah. No, but Mulan, whoever she ends up with, that guy. Okay, because what really annoyed me, okay, and a lot of stories and everything, is his whole deal is being like, oh, it turns out you're a girl, so now I'll date you, and now I'll marry you, and now I like you. And now I can be attracted to you. In a lot of cases, and a lot of the stuff, is a little bit the other way around. And I always, hate that. They're always like, oh, well, there is still a little bit of that in a lot of stories. They're like, oh, turns out you're a girl, so now I can be together with you, and I can like you now. Oh, now I'm into you. Like, you clearly were into them before, you just were lying to yourself about it, and you weren't ready to accept yourself, so... Her partner in Mulan, the guy she ends up with being, is 100% bisexual, because he just really wasn't ready to admit that he liked her when she was a boy. Well, when he thought she was a boy, he liked her, but he's like, oh, and a girl, now it's safe to say I like you. And now I can admit my attraction towards you. That I think you're cool, and that you're a good warrior, and that you're strong, and that you're powerful. And I like you. Yeah. No, but you see that a lot. You're like, oh, now it turns that because you were passing as a boy, and you look like a boy, so I wasn't allowed to like you, but now that I learned you're a girl, I'm into you. And it really pisses me off, and it's the complete opposite for me, because I was like, if a guy was all of a sudden being like, oh, actually I'm a girl and I identify as a girl, or they came out to me as trans, I'd be like, okay, I accept and I understand that you're a girl, which means I don't like you anymore because I'm only into guys. And I'm not gonna change myself for you and not be true to myself just because you changed and you figured out who you were. That doesn't affect me or how I think of you. It just changes our relationship to probably already basically friends in the first place. So now we really can't be intimate. We can't date or anything like that because you're a girl. And you probably still be pissed at me, but you later learn and probably eventually realize and be like, oh, that was probably the right thing, and that makes sense, because if you continued to date me, then you would have been lying and saying that you didn't accept me and that you didn't think that I was a girl. And you still thought of me as a guy, and you didn't actually accept me, and you didn't actually support me. But since you did, you had to break off the relationship so I can move on and find someone else. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no. So it won't work for me, but in a lot of stories what I've read, I've gotten away from a lot of it and just quit reading a lot of it. Because at first I was always like, oh, just don't read the ones where, they end up with their bully and stuff like that, and where they're, they keep ending up with their bully and people who were, who raped them, who harassed them, who bullied them, who beat the crap out of them, almost killed them. They keep ending up with their predators, because they're like, oh, maybe I am gay. Like, duh. You're just still really homophobic. You're just also homophobic to yourself. And you're like, oh, now maybe I'll change a little bit. But yeah. I have issues with playing people will change and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't remember. Oh, I'll probably call this, Mulan is gay or something. I don't know. Probably just bisexual Mulan or something like that. Bi Mulan, probably. I think that'll work. Okay, sorry. Ideas flowing. Yeah, no, but, so I was just getting away from being, a bully thing, but instead they're always like, oh, it looks like a girl. So, and then now I'm like, oh, I'll still date them even though I found out that they're a boy. And I'll be like, oh, maybe I'm... But then they always, like, switch to, like, oh, now they're gay. And I'm like, no, now they're just bisexual. And I don't like this at all because they thought they were a girl. They only dated them because they thought it was a girl. And they're like, I still like you, even though I found out that you were a boy, and I'll continue to date you. And they act like it's the biggest deal and that they're doing the biggest favor. No. That's not how that works, bud. And it's not okay. You're like, I only dated you because I thought you were a girl. And I'm being so nice that I didn't break up with you just because I realized, oh yeah, it's actually a dude. But they always struggle and then be like, I don't like you, and they struggle with themselves, and they're always like, I only like girls, I can never be into you, and everything like that. Which is a whole mess. The whole word I like, oh, and the whole deal of like making people gay, I was like, that's not real. Making people gay, like, you could make someone gay. No, you just make them realize that they're gay. And you don't even make them realize it. It just, when they see you and they feel attraction, and then when they really think about it, and then whenever they're forced to confront their feelings for you, and if they ever want to try and pursue the relationship and everything like that, and they would have to, like, you can a little bit make them gay. One of my friends, okay, that's a different conversation. He kind of made, like, he said that he was always turning straight guys and everything, and no, he would, like, flirt with them, and he dated a lot of guys that said they were straight before and everything, and they're like, I'm straight, I'm only straight, I only like girls. And then he went out with them, and he dated them, and all this, and then they're like, okay, never mind, I'm not really straight. I'm not as straight as I thought. I was like, no, he turned out to be their type, and they just noticed, and they realized, they're like, oh, I'm wrong. I have to realize, and I have to confront a part of myself that was hidden, and that I didn't notice, and I didn't learn about, and I just didn't know about. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I have to make this into a different video. I'm struggling with trying to figure out how to name this video. Yeah, no. But the whole deal with, so it was the whole, like, if they look like a girl and being like, oh, it's a girl, but, oh, it turns out to actually be a guy, but I'll still date them, and I was like, that's absolute trash. So there's this will be like, oh, they cross-dressed, so like, oh, they were tricked by the guy was tricked by the guy. It all pisses me off. I'm like, no. And that also made me a little bit more against, like, feminine guys, and especially since I wasn't passing and everything, and everyone's like, you're a girl all the time. So I was like, no, I just need to get to passing and everything. So I'm like, I'm a little bit more open and being like, hey, I like some more feminine things. I'm okay with being a little more feminine. I would be okay with dating someone who's feminine, as long as they don't look like a girl. I'd still be willing to date them and everything. And then I still don't think I would be willing to date someone who's, like, super feminine or someone who does drag. Mostly because if they do drag, then they're passing, so they look like a girl, and I'm like, I'm not into girls, man. so this just doesn't work. I'm sorry. And then, there was this video about, okay, so I don't know what it's all going to be about. Okay. Okay, so I'll probably just call this, one of my ideas was just turn into a crazy video. Talking about all types of things. Crap. Focus. No, dang it, I don't have my headphones in, it's charging. I hate everything. Okay, focus. No, but, making people gay and everything. Oh, there was the whole, Troye Sivan, did drag and everything. So he looked passing as a girl and everything, but I noticed, and I was like, yeah. So I was, for the most part, just turned off by him. I was like, I thought he was attractive, and then I found other people that I thought were more attractive, but I was like, oh, he's still kind of hot, and then the video was like, nope, he's just like a girl. Nope, I'm done. Anything that's a girl, nope, we're done. Doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. Okay, so, yeah, no, but, a lot of guys were like, oh, I have to confront that I might be bisexual and everything, because, after, like, he was passing and I thought I was a girl, I was into it, and then even after learning that it was a boy, I was still into them, and I still thought they were hot, and I was still attracted to them, and they have to confront themselves confront the fact and be like, oh, okay, and then accept that part of themselves. Be like, okay, just something's a little bit different. I'm not completely 100% into girls. Maybe it's 5% or just a little percent, or maybe it's like 50% or like 40, you know, or like maybe even 60, you know. It's all a different percentage of you'd be like, oh, I'm almost like only into girls, but I guess I have a different type, and I like a few guys. A few guys I'm into. Yeah. So, yeah, there's all that. So probably just making someone gay. Changing them, like, no, you, like, and you're like, your friends and people around you and the internet, it doesn't make you gay. It just makes you learn and think about things and, like, be like, hey, and ask questions and be like, hey, am I gay? I never thought about it before. That's an option? I didn't know anything about this. And you learn more, and you're able to learn more things, and you're like, okay. And then you either, like, accept it, and you change, and you pursue, and you find more things out, and you try to become more accepting, and you just learn more about it, and you just let it affect you, or you, like, completely deny it, and you try and, like, delete it and get rid of that part of yourself, or you hide it. But with more acceptance and people being more open about things and learning more about it, and being able to talk about it openly and everything like that, then they're like, oh, I can accept this part of myself, I can love this part of myself, I don't have to hide it, and I can admit it, and I can work through it, and I can think about these things. And it's not that big of a deal, and not everyone will attack me for it, like, I might be treated a little bit worse, but for the most part, it's not going to really affect or change my life, and I would only be treated a little bit worse if I came out to some people and I kept some people who are negative in my life. But other than that, it doesn't actually affect your life, like, at all. It just makes you learn something about yourself. You're like, oh, this is something new I didn't know about. Let's explore and find out more. But yeah. Okay, I think I covered everything. Yeah, should be everything. Bye. Oh, wait, I'm being like, oh, I'm still figuring out how feminine I'm willing to be and where I fit in that scale. Because I'm like, I might be a little bit more feminine than I think I am now. And I'll be a little bit more willing to try a few more feminine things. And explore a little bit more. But I'd still want to be, like, more butch and more masculine and stuff like that. Okay, which is different than something else. But yeah, that's probably a different topic and a little bit of a different video. Because the whole, like, where did, like, the trans people come from and stuff like that. You're like, no, we like, just stole the fashion choices. But, well, the trans men just saw and pretended to be butch lesbians and stuff like that. They pretend to be butch, and they stole the style of clothes. They stole their fashion. They're just like, you have a good choice in fashion. We're gonna take the men's clothes. We're gonna take the style and things that and the masculinity that we learned from you, and we're gonna come out of the closet now. You were a good hiding spot, but we realized we don't quite fit in you, and we can finally talk about it and come out. Yeah. Sorry, that's a different topic. Okay, I may or may not have to dive deep into that. More of I think this women are like the peak masculinity. I was like, you are the male role models that we need in life. You are the example that we need to follow. Yeah, but that was cute. That was nice. Crap. Talking about something and I missed it, and I feel like I talked about it, but I think I missed something. Okay, I can't figure it out. I'll have to figure it out in a different video. Okay, that should be everything. Keep trying to space out and trying to figure it out. No, oh yeah, oh, it's about femme. So, but I'm still not like, I don't know where the limit is yet, but if you're like a really twink and you're like super feminine, then you're just not quite my type. I'm just not interested in you. But then I thought I was like only into like super masculine men, and I only want to be super masculine, and I was like, no, I probably want someone who's a little bit more feminine than me. Alright. And I'm more open also to them being more feminine than me, and to be more feminine. But I don't want them to be like super feminine, but I was like, I don't know where that line is yet, and I'll have to figure it out and explore it. And just learn new things when I meet people, and talk to people, and just try and date people, and make new friends, and actually go to clubs, and meet other gays, and stuff like that, because I haven't met or like talked to anyone who's like non-binary, or who fellow trans people, fellow gay people, fellow bisexual people, and like allies that have friends that are and that who know a lot of people, and who have a lot of friends, and who are more educated, and then know more things, and just have more experience and all of that. So a lot of it I'll just have to learn through experimenting and dating and stuff like that, and especially when I get money and I can move to a more accepting place. Got a lot to learn. Like, you're still young, so you have time to learn. But I'm like, that doesn't feel like it. Really? Okay, that's a different video. I'm young in age, but I feel super old. Yeah. Especially just because it turns out like that millennials and my generation has to make all the changes that were supposed to be made for us. Because it's not like all these mental issues came out of nowhere and that they didn't exist, and that racism doesn't exist. They were all just hidden and encouraged and ignored and pushed down and never talked about and never confronted, and no one ever changed. And it was just taught, and they just kept passing it down over and over again. So it was just a mess. Okay, that's a different video too. Okay, bye. Hopefully I'm actually done this time.